lot of, musically passionate people out there. Not everybody gets lucky enough to form a band. So how did you find Thermal and Quarter?
See, this whole thing about luck, yeah, we talk about it all the time. But I think at some deep philosophical level, if you want to call it that, you make your own luck. And especially if you're in the arts, and there's so much to crib about being an artist, right? So there's never enough support, there's never enough money, there's never enough places to exhibit your art, the audience never understands, no one gets your stuff. I mean, this is the stuff that all artists around the world have always been saying. So the point is, those things are true for the most part. There is truth in all of those things. But the point, I guess, is to work through that and just continue to do what you do. And if you just do that, then you're making your own luck in terms of, look, I don't care. Even if I have to do a 9 to 5, which I did for 10 years. It's taken me 10 years of working regular jobs before I could dump it and do just music, So it's not like I stepped out of college and I've always been a musician. It's not like that. And yeah, I have a family to support, I have EMIs to pay, and it's not easy, just making, and that's the truth, not just in India, but anywhere in the world. If you're a musician doing non-mainstream music, if you're doing something that you're following your heart, so to speak, it's never easy. It's never easy, right? And a lot of international musicians now are coming to India to teach and work in places like Swarnabhumi and so on, because it's hard over there also. I mean, there's so many great musicians, there's so many venues, everything's very organized, but it's still very difficult. So, it's about, for me, it's just two things. It's what's important. If it's important for you, you will make it happen. Doesn't matter how. So, if you're working from 9 to 7 every day, and if the only time you had to jam was 6 o'clock in the morning, you'd make it happen because it is important. And if that means talking to your family and saying, I'm not going to be here every morning to help with, you do it because it's important. Or if your family becomes more important, you're going to say, boss, I can't make it at 6, I'll come only at midnight to practice. And the rest of the band will do it because it's important. So it's as simple as that. It's a very binary thing in life generally. Is it important? If it is, you'll do it. You'll find a way to do it, no matter what. That's all. As simple as that.
Bruce, you have a very diverse band of sorts in terms of musical taste. Right? You grew up on a lot of Brubeck, and Rajiv's like this metal head. Do your tastes morph over the years?
Yeah, they have actually. So the first time I played a Steely Dan song to Rajiv, he looked at me with like total disdain, saying, "What are you listening to this shit, Machan? I mean, what is this crap? I mean, do you want to play this stuff?" And I loved that band at that point. And I felt very grievously wounded, that my closest buddy didn't like my stuff. But yeah, and over the years, I think he's like the biggest Dan fan I know right now, So he's still very metal in many of his tastes. He still likes the energy of that. And in fact, I like a lot of metal right now. So I guess it happens, It's like, in some ways, Rajiv and I have been together for longer than we've been married, I know that he's pretty much all I know in terms of a friend from college days right now. We still work together, we still spend so much time on the road and writing music and so on. So it's not a friendship anymore, So I don't know if we even like each other anymore, but it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, that's like who we are. It's like, yeah, it's like one of those things. It's hard to really describe what that relationship is. And I guess any band that's been around for a very long time, it is like that, It's not like a friendship and we're best buddies and all that. Obviously we are at some level, but it goes beyond all that. Yeah, and the musical taste, and in terms of the diversity of our own compositions, it's very clear, you see a little bit of progressive, a little bit of heavy, that angsty emotion, you'll see all the softer jazz harmonies, and you'll see some blues, and it's, when the band came together, it was a mix of all of those things, and through the years, I guess how we interpret that mix and how we make it our own is what has evolved.
And have you got Leslie who does bass the last one?
Yes, for the last 2 years, and the new album, The Scene. The new album is called The Scene, and it's the first one we've done with him, and it's been great working with the guy. He's quite a bit younger than we are, and he's a total angry young man. It's great to have someone with that energy. He's just like constantly spouting vitriol at almost anything he sees.
The Scene has a lot of that? The Scene has a lot of that?
No, actually, it has a lot of the snarkiness and that energy in it, but it's very sort of smooth and sophisticated as an album, at least we think so. And yeah, a lot of the songs, I've just played Like Me, and there's another song called I'm Endorsed, Are You? Because suddenly there's all these musicians around the country who have endorsements, and who have all these, including us, So it's self-mocking, yeah, it's self-mocking at some level. because we've met many of these musicians on our travels here, and some of them don't play at all. They just endorse. They have all these great gear, but they don't have to play. You know, they're just endorsed. So there's a song about that. There's a song about EDM, because EDM is like the big thing in India right now, around the world actually. Everyone's obsessed with this whole EDM thing. And while there are some good guys in it, there are a lot of guys who just pressing a button. So we wrote this song called Meds, Medicated Electronic Dance, because a lot of EDM is best enjoyed with a lot of medication. So it's called Meds. So we have a song about that. There's a song also called The Scene, the sort of title track kind of the song, which is I guess a little bit of the fringe in there, where very often you wonder, you put in all this work and you're doing all this stuff, and half the time no one's getting it, and sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes you get screwed over by sponsors or something else, but at the end of the day you're still playing it, and that's all that matters, So it's a song about that, and it's called The Scene. Big ticket rock stars, they come and they go, with folk fusion gimmicks, comedy, electronics. Our story's been the same since 1996. Selling sushi in an idli shop for you, with rock and blues and jazz and roll on the menu. Selling sushi is a scene, hope you know what I mean. Selling sushi is a scene, that's how we wrap up this dream, this dream. I see you're a producer of passion, I see you're the chairman of cool, but if you're the director of my music, I'd rather have the president's rule. I'd like to be just like Lennon. Sometimes I play the fool. You can turn an event into history. Your sponsors on auto-renew. The drones, that dripping kingfisher, as you f*** with the bands at your venue. Can I use that word? Selling sushi is a scene, hope you know what I mean. Selling sushi is a scene, that's how we wrapped up this dream, this dream. There's an accordion solo which I can't play. The last verse I have to sing. It's getting cold here in this spotlight as you rattle your cutlery. Don't let me play a hole in your conversation. All I know is that this joke's on me. Don't need you to understand anymore, and you can have all my tunes for free. So you're thinking this song is so bittersweet. You wear that smile so well. Shake my hand when I'm done. Tell me it's been a treat. I promise not to kiss and tell. Selling sushi is a scene, hope you know what I mean. Selling sushi is a scene, that's how we wrapped up this dream, this dream. Selling sushi. Would you like some chutney with that? Yeah.
That's right up there for me, man. It's just push terrible trouble out of the way. I think it was Dave Matthews who said, and I'm paraphrasing, music isn't just jazz or heavy metal or any of those categories. The more you listen to music, the more you can see right through them. Very few bands celebrate that kind of vision. Thermal and a Quarter are more than mildly euphoric. Thank you for the music, bros.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. It's been great being here. Thanks. Sorry.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you, man.